We planned for a Taiwan trip for a while, then start to check out Nick Campbell and various YouTubes. But nothing would prepare us for what we would encounter. Our flights were on Monday, 25th March midnight, which is actually the 26th March, Tuesday, early midnight morning. And arrival would be the next morning in Taipei. Yeah, the Scoot Air TR996. And just 2 days before the flight, I developed severe toothache due to an infected nerve, such that drinking water is already difficult. On the Sunday before, I tried to get emergency treatment from Advanced Dental, but none was available. And they referred me to Tan Tock Seng on a walk-in basis the following Monday morning. Knowing that this is not workable, I tried to reach out to our AIA dental panel, and Dr. Gerald Tan of Elite Dental tried to squeeze a morning slot for me at 9:15 a.m. Thank God I was able to do the root canal and enjoy a painless holidays, especially the food in Taiwan. The trip was across island of northern Taiwan from 26 March to 6 of April, starting with from Taoyuan, Taipei Station to Chiayi by HSR, followed by shuttle bus to Chiayi train station, from Chiayi to Taichung, then Yilan, then down to Hualien, then back to Rifang and Taipei, and back to Airport Taoyuan to come back home, around 6 of April. That was the entire itinerary. Now let me share our story at Hualien. Because Taroko Gorge was our main purpose in Hualien, and we stay at Yilan and then move on to Hualien. We in Hualien on 1st of April 2024, and while doing our city walk, we came across St. Paul Pastoral Center and St. Paul statue. Yeah, and it was quite well appointed that the Lord lead us to this kind of a sanctuary, and we were very comfortable because we start to see God's word in front of us. The Lord will protect you as you come and go now and forevermore. Psalms 121 verse 8, I think. Yeah. So on 2nd of April, we were on Taroko tour, starting with Qi Xing Tang. Then at Taroko, we did the Yanzi Go, Sakadan Trail, and Mulo Wan and Suspension Bridge and all that. But the worst thing was about to happen beyond our imaginations. On 3rd of April, we depart Hualien on train 207 towards Rifang at 7:26 a.m. We were at the train station around 7 a.m. And after we checked out from Sunsui Hotel around 6:50 a.m., the earthquake happened at 7:58 a.m. Yeah, the first miracle was that we were in Taroko 1 day earlier, before the 403 earthquake, or they call it the 3rd of April earthquake. Yeah, so we were able to enjoy Taroko as the earthquake devastated the entire scenic region, gorges and trails, and even caused some casualty. Had we delayed 1 day, we could be trapped in Taroko and buried under the rubbles. Yeah, so that is the kind of situation that we faced at that point in time. The second miracle was at Dong Damen. We were there for early dinner for the first day, and later on the second day. It will be the epicenter of the earthquake in Hualien. Yeah. You can see the picture of our Uranus building taken the day before, compared with the earthquake devastation that caused it to collapse to a tilt. Yeah. Then the third miracle is the escape from Hualien on the fateful morning that express train 207 was to be the last train out of Hualien in that morning. Our train booking out of Hualien to Rifang on 3rd April was originally for 9:45 a.m. train, but somehow earlier when we were at Chiayi, we changed the train to an earlier timing at 7:26 a.m. Previously, 9:45 a.m. was the earliest available train, so we were fortunate to be able to make that change while we were in Chiayi few days before. Yeah. So when we reached Nan'ao, around 7:50 a.m., we received the presidential alert on the earthquake, and the train floated and swayed from left to right and came to a halt. The train stopped for 3 hours, and we were told that the cables had snapped and it took several hours to repair them. And we continued to experience several tremors while sitting in the train. We tried to contact our friends. One group of pre-Vietnamese ladies was to go to Taroko on the Wednesday, 3rd of April that morning. I'm sure they could not make it anymore. And another group couple, Doris, was to visit Ocean Dolphin viewing trip. We were told by Doris that it was frightening. With hundreds of tremors throughout the day, there was no more train to Taipei as the earthquake has damaged the tracks between Hualien and Yilan up north towards Taipei. So we were very lucky to take the first trip out while knowing that our friends have to be left behind waiting for the next available train out of Yilan towards Taipei. The fourth miracle was the completion of all the tours and trips in accordance with our plans. While friends were affected by the earthquake, we also changed our plans of going to Rifang and Shifeng, Jiufen by ourselves. So we're going to Rifang, to Shifeng and Jiufen by ourselves. We did two things. We extend our train to Taipei. We're on the train with the conductor and take the local tour from Taipei. We just managed to book the tour at 7:57 before all the signals were lost. And this earthquake also generated hundreds of aftershocks, including one of magnitude 6.4 or 6.5 only about 13 minutes later after the main shock. For 5 days after the initial shock, there are still at least more than 740 aftershocks as of morning of April the 8th. Some of these shocks were with magnitude greater than 5 daily. Most of the aftershocks occur north of the initial shock because this event ruptured the offshore, extending the reverse fault. A tsunami warning was also issued for the region, and then some areas in Japanese island of Ishigaki, located 200 kilometers away from the epicenter, experienced 1 to 2 meters tsunami wave. Yeah. But in terms of damage, nationally, at least only about 18 to 19 people were killed and more than 1,100 people were injured. A small number remain missing the weeks after the event. Authorities also recorded about 2,498 damaged cases across Taiwan and 111 destroyed structure and damage to 1,939 houses, 870 buildings, and 75 roads and tunnels. Yeah, so basically there's a lot of structural damage in Hualien and concentrated in Hualien. Yeah, especially the older and middle-rise building and those that were built before the 1999 stringent code on earthquake. Yeah. Taroko Gorge and Cross Island Corridor where roads and tunnel facility were also, where we have roads, tunnels and park facility were also heavily hit. So basically, the main impact was on urban Hualien city, Even you can see some building leaning, like Uranus building, and some multiple collapse, leaning buildings, severe landslide and blocked roads. And Taroko, Provincial Highway number 8 corridor between Taroko and Tianxiang, where the road, tunnel, and park infrastructure suffered heavy structural damage as well. Taroko National Park and surrounding mountain roads suffered heavy rockfalls and landslide, forcing long-term closure of the major trails. Yeah, so they were still under repair. Of course, some have gradually reopened earlier this year in 2026. And finally, our most important and most difficult encounter was that God never gave up on us when He came to us with the fifth miracle, which is a series of divine help from God. When we were about to go to Taoyuan Airport from Neijiang next to Ximenting and to take the blue line to Taipei station to transfer to Taoyuan by train, around 7 p.m. while doing our final check, we realized that our passport was not in our backpack. We lost our passport pouch. We have a limited window until 9 p.m. as checking in time was about 10:30. Without the passport, We did several things. We contact the train station to check lost and found, contact Scoot Air to reschedule flight, contact Singapore Trade Office for advice to issue document for me to fly back. Also to go to police station in Seaman Station's Exit 4 to make a police report. Also to freeze a Wise card and block the credit cards. We took the train to backtrack Sinpei-Tou area's hot spring where we have lunch and visit their rail museum and even search the lost and found section of the rail museum and view several CCTV video footage of me at their entrance of the hot spring to see if I've dropped my pouch at the entrance. In addition, the hotel staff was very kind and helpful to contact Scoot to inform that we need to cancel and rebook flights on Monday when we are supposed to be flying back, and also help us to contact Ms. Siu Han at the Singapore Trade Office at Taipei for assistance on the issuance of documents of identity for flying. They also help us to check lost and found at police station, MRT, metro station, at Sinpei-Tou and Taipei station. But as it was a National Children's Day and also Chengming Tomb Sweeping Day, Taiwan was on an extended holidays and we need to stay another 3 days until officers start working again. And I'm from Singapore, my wife's from Indonesia, so we also have 2 embassies to deal with, which also have very different problems because Indonesia is having their, I think, Lebaran or some kind of long holiday. As we were at the hot springs at Sinpei-Tou, we backtracked to those locations that we visited, the Rail Museum, restaurant, hot spring, even see the CCTV if we dropped the pouch containing passport, but to no avail because we did not successfully recover our passports. When all hopes were lost, we tried to book new tickets with Scoot, but we're not able to do so because we already checked in online. The Singapore rep also explained that the steps to me to go to ICA website to report loss and seek the issuance of DO's document of travel, or they call it document identity, and inform them once we have requested for such document. It was irreversible. If our passport were found finally, and our trip is already cancelled, our document is already cancelled, we will not be able to fly. So we decided to wait for a while until Sunday. The bigger concern was my wife with Indonesian passport will face problem with the embassy as it was Lebaran, and the Indonesian embassy was far away. And they may not open due to Lebaran and prospect of differing timing for passport processing meant we have to wait for the latter to travel back together. We also tried to reach out to our insurance company, Attica. As we totally lost and only need to wait, we only knew that we would not be able to fly that early morning at 1:30 a.m. without the passports. We decided to go back to the police station to update the declaration on the report of loss, as we only mentioned passport, whereas there were 2 credit cards and an iPhone inside the pouch. So we actually want to make further declaration on our lost items at the police station. But upon entering the police station for the second time, we were pleasantly surprised that we were immediately informed by the police officers our passport had been located at Taipei police station. We also received an incoming call on all the good news around 11 p.m. and the location to collect the passport was at Taipei train station, Westgate Level 1. But it was a joy for a short moment only because when we look at our clock, we realized it was already 11 p.m. at night and it was very tight in timing to be able to recover our luggage, the passport, take the long ride to the airport to check in and all that. So we wasted no time to rush back to our hotel to collect luggage, then to Taipei station to pick up our passport and to Taoyuan airport, which is actually almost another hour by train. Yeah. So as our flight was 1:30 a.m., it was already 11 p.m. and time was running against us, and airport was 1 hour driving away. As we were walking back at the traffic lights, there was a miracle as God sent a taxi in front of us, alighting some guests. We approached it to send us back to the hotel to collect our luggage, then proceed to Taipei Metro Police Station to collect our passport, and then head straight to Taoyuan International Airport, T1. It was a miracle that God sent the taxi in front of us to enable us to reach the airport on time. Despite the immigration having long queue and boarding at 0:45 a.m., we managed to board smoothly. This fifth miracle was a series of divine help. The taxi, the drive to retrieve the luggage from hotel, to Taipei station, rescue to collect passport, to drive to the airport to clear immigration, like all within an hour in a big Taiwan. Even as we have given up hope and already arranged a police report on the loss of passport and booked an extra day stay at the hotel, we still managed to fly back to Singapore. Firstly, we have checked in online, therefore our flight cannot be cancelled or rescheduled for the next week. Secondly, our Singapore rep Sky helped and advised that once declared loss of passport is done online on ICA website, I cannot fly even if finally I'm able to find my passport. If such declaration has been made, I will not be able to fly with a recovered passport. So therefore, I did not follow the declared loss route. Thirdly, the miracle taxi take us on the last mile, 3 locations, hotel, Taipei train station, collect passport, and to Taoyuan airport. Fourthly, the friendly Taiwanese hospitality from Neijiang Hotel, the police and the metro station staff all rallying behind us. Even as we reached home safely, flying Scoot on time on both flights, and landed and reached home safely, the aftershocks and new tremors continue in Taipei and Taroko. With God, there's always an appointed time for things. And when you put Him first, trust in His timing, and keep faith, miracles happen. Every moment of life, remember God's grace and His miracles. Miracle is never ending and it still happens. Every moment of life is like a sacrament in which we can receive God to allow Him to speak to us direct us. Even when we want to give up, God never gives up on us. Therefore, above all, don't fear difficult moments. The best come from them. God will not give up on us. With spirit of humility, it's not I who lives, it is Christ who lives in me. Vivi ego in me non ego. Vivi viro in me Christos. There's no limit to the amount of good that He can do for us and to us as testimony. God will not give up on Taiwan. Learn of miracles for us.